to the Swordsman Mockman account with a Void Boss 4 video as promised. I don't know if I promised it in a video myself or if it was just in the Discord, but I say the Discord as if I'm not in like 50,000 of them. But the point is, it's here. And so this is difficulty 9, I do believe, maybe. We are running Antlers on SSM. Yes, that is correct. I ran melodic strings for the first few, but it was just trivial. We were getting perfect scores. Everybody was dead by the first few rounds. It worked out very well. But now damage not looking super spectacular, obviously, because the Antlers Cane won't be very good at upfront damage, but it's going to ramp towards the end. So, this boss is particularly difficult for Star Swordsman Mockman. Why is it difficult for Star Swordsman Mockman when I obliterated Boss 3 in my Boss 3 video? Well, you'll see he's now in his defensive stance because his chases and active skills, and I think maybe even basic attacks, are what swing him from his offensive to his defensive stance. So yellow is offensive, blue is defensive. So now he is defensive, which means he will be very good at, I think he reduces enemy attack. He may boost ally block, and he also counterattacks in this form. Here's just a little spoiler. You're going to see approximately 0 counterattacks here. Why is that? It's because these are assassins, and they are not going to hit Star Swordsman Mockman. And unfortunately, he needs to get hit, A, to counterattack and deal more damage, B, to activate his Destiny transition skill, and C, to return to his offensive stance. Aha. So this boss is challenging because SSM has to work with approximately 2, 3, sometimes 4 active skills if his chases don't go particularly well. And then the fight is basically done for him because he's not going to ever activate his Destiny buffs, which is obviously problematic because they're very good. His active skills are not going to get any chases because they don't chase in his defensive form. And all of the passive stats that he gains and grants to the allies are going to be defensive in nature and not offensive in nature. So his damage is hindered quite drastically. Whereas SSM whereas LFA and DTV, they're just going to be having a party over here, not suffering such issues. So SSM uniquely challenged by this boss, just because they're assassins and they don't want to hit him unless he's the lowest HP. So what this video is going to be, don't worry, it's not going to be over after these 3 attempts. I have 3 more after this to show you. I'm just going to spoil it now. This is probably the greatest idea that I have hatched in a long time, and it's also the funniest. Like this humor involved rivals the funniest thing that I'd done previously, which was sell my A-tier Aspen way back when he costed like $1 billion to go for the Star Alchemist Holmes Young Giant Killer instead. So this is extremely funny, this maneuver that I attempt here. It's not going to be in this next battle, but it's going to be in this next series of 3. You'll see what I'm talking about. But so all of this is just me like desperately trying to maximize the amount of damage SSM can do in his limited amount of active skills. So how can we deal more damage if he is refusing to go to his offensive stance? Is Melodic Strings better? Maybe. Is Antlers Cane better? Maybe. Here we're obviously using Melodic Strings. So we'll be able to see these big active skills go off. They're not going to be very big because a lot of these fights are contingent upon the monster buffs that we get that increase the damage dealt to either bled, burnt, or poisoned enemies, depending on which one we're using. Fair bit of damage there for round 1, considering there were no extra buffs going on. So it's going decently well. At this point, we're going to have full energy feed for a while, obviously. Some chases there. Pretty decent damage. If he had been given a couple rounds, maybe like 2 monster buffs and enough time to, on round 4, whenever the melodic strings resets the buff, that would have absolutely decked those minions, I'm sure. More chases here. Bam. So pretty awesome. Pretty sweet damage. Round 3, we got some of the minions near halfway, around about 50% of the way dead. The boss about there himself, looks like 52 maybe. But now he's in his defensive form, um, with melodic strings. So that damage is never going to ramp up again. We just hit round 5, so now we are coming down from the peak buff that he's going to have. So all of these subsequent active skills, not going to be as potent as they would be otherwise with an Antler's Cane or something like that. So rather unfortunate. I am quite happy with the amount of Destiny materials I got because I blasted through, um, 1 through 8. I might be able to dig up footage for that. Probably won't though, just because it's probably a waste of my time. We've all seen SSM burst down entire teams before. The only thing that's different is who the enemies are. Not very many fancy interactions here. You'll see my team's not really at risk of dying, at least not right away. They can last for a while. I'm not sure what kind of debuff they put on. I know they do a heal effect debuff, and that looks like an attack debuff or a crit debuff or something like that. I think it's attack. Um, but they do ramp up their damage rather significantly there. I'm not sure what causes the damage ramp. It looks like they may be buffing themselves, which, I may bring in an Alakita. That might help. I'm not really sure who I'd take out instead, though. Maybe Mystic Fairy Freya, just because she's definitely not as strong as she used to be, back before she was broken. Um, but it is what it is. So we're definitely getting close here, round 13, round 14 now. Wolf buffs. You see, this is where I sparked my idea. You'll see that that one minion hit SSM. We just need that to happen more. So I think we might just try this one more time again. Yeah, we'd use the snake. We were using the wolf, but the SQH died, so I was like, maybe snake would be better. Just because if SQH dies, we're not going to get any bleed on the enemies there. So obviously the last few active skills aren't going to be buffed by the monster. So I swapped to the snake just so we can maintain those poison buffs. Um, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So this fight's basically going to be a wash because we get no energy feed nor any of the skills, um, from SQH. So this is just going to be a sad, unfortunate fight outcome. That mm, I mean, we'll watch a little bit more, but you'll get the picture soon enough. Like it's not going to work out. Basically, is the gist here. So round 5, so the peak amount of damage that the artifact is going to do for us, that has passed already, and so now we're just going to be sort of grasping for anything we can to eke out enough damage before the time runs out. And just a little bit of a spoiler, it's not going to work out very well for us. So this was a day of 0 boss clears for me, which was rather disappointing and sad, but it is what it is, I suppose. Round 9. Yeah, it's looking rather sad here. This was definitely a poor attempt. But these things happen. It is how we learn. And learn I did. The humor, I think you'll like it a lot too. You'll notice that this next fight that we do, this is from today. I recorded this footage about 15 minutes ago and knew I immediately needed to pump out a video about this. I was extremely excited about it. So I brainstormed the thumbnail. I couldn't find a picture to vandalize that perfectly captured the situation, but I think I did well enough. This is just a screenshot from when I did Vortex on an account. Round 80 is the highest that I've personally seen without the game crashing. I don't know if you all have beaten that record, but yeah, that was pretty funny. Okay, so this is from today. We throw ourselves in. Same team. SSM starting in the back row, running the snake pet in case the SQH dies, which it's looking kind of likely based on this damage so far. SSM starting with full energy. Bam, 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 bam. Look at those chases. Those were pretty awesome chases. I wish I could get that all the time. So, you'll notice that we had a big green explosion on them, and that was the minions hitting Star Swordsman Mockman. Look at those beautiful chases. If I could just get those all the time. Oh, that would make me extremely happy. Look at all those attack debuffs, those glorious attack debuffs. Well, they're gone now. They're off the screen. On the enemies there were like 25 on those two minions in the back row. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. That's what we like to see. Absolutely beautiful run so far. But so now SSM's in his defensive stance. So our damage is going to look a bit sad, but you'll notice sometimes we have the little green explosions on the enemies, indicating that we are indeed getting hit on the Mockman. And this fight goes a little bit better. There we go. He got hit again. So I guess I'll just start explaining it now for those of you who aren't already catching on. SSM is getting hit despite not being the lowest HP because he inflicts taunt confrontation on the minions, which is a crowd control effect. You may see where I'm going with this. So what my plan was is I was like, well, if the assassins don't want to hit SSM, I will just force them to. And you'll notice he is orange again now. Getting attacks off, this time buffed by the monster, absolutely enormous damage on round 7. Enormous, relatively speaking, anyway. Still taunted on that one minion down there. He only taunts the back line, so if the front line is left untouched for a little bit, it's going to be a bit problematic. The back line is now dead. Well, now I guess he would taunt them, since all the skills will apply if he's only attacking one row. One chase there. Round 9, one minion left. That second batch of active skills is all we needed. And now we have a few extra rounds even left in the tank to do this extra damage. Round 11 kill for boss 9. So what did we change? Let's take a look. Rui Scepter on the Star Swordsman Mockman to increase the control precision and the CI offset for the taunt, making the minions in the back line target him and knock him out of his defensive stance so we can come and sweep the wave with a second batch of active skills. That is incredible, I must say. And oftentimes, I get a little bit excessive with my how do I describe this in a YouTube friendly way? Give me a minute. I'm trying to think about how I want to word this. I over exaggerate my confidence and ability a lot of the time in my presentation. But this is this was actually a really good idea. I think I'm extremely proud of this. Forcing the minions to hit the SSM. That is incredible. You see one active skill, and he's already in his blue form. That's just how it goes sometimes, my friends. And this is where I start to notice something a little bit odd with the targeting. Unfortunately, SQH did die. So this one's not going to go particularly well. But you'll start to notice, you'll see we have a taunt on that bottom one. Oh, I guess he did target SSM there. But what you'll start to notice is that sometimes even when they're taunted, they don't go for SSM. And what I should have done is done this in slow motion, but I was frantic to get this video out after I'd done a clear. But sometimes, even when taunted, these minions will not target SSM. And I'm not talking about, yes, you'll see there, the one on the bottom, the slot 3 minion, did not even attempt to hit SSM despite being taunted. And I'm not sure what that's really about. Maybe there's another targeting system that they have on their actives or something that takes precedence over SSM's taunt. It's extremely bizarre, but it's something I noticed, and it also screwed over my attempt because we're obviously, every time we're not taking damage on SSM, we're not leaving our defensive form. So a little bit strange. I'm not sure why that is happening, but it is what it is. So we stay blue the whole time. We get eviscerated positively and utterly. But yeah, a little bit strange how that works. So right now I just put an HP stone on the SQH, and then we're going to send ourselves right back into it. Back into the fray for difficulty 10. And then we will see what's up. I should be close to another temple level, which would be absolutely huge. I might get that during the, I'll try to pronounce it correctly the first time, Shishi, I think. I keep on wanting to say Quixie, but that's obviously incorrect, and a little, it's hilariously incorrect to say Quixie, I think. But I think it's called the Shishi Festival, which I'm excited for, because maybe there's a chance for a 4C skin in my future, which I still need a copy of, or I think any Valentine's Day skin, rather, but I need it to be legendary so that I can raise my 4C skin to mythic status. You'll see SSM took some hits there. Obviously not needed quite yet because he's still in his offensive form. But yeah, Shishi Fest. Jeez, I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna call it the next event. The love holiday that's not Valentine's Day. That one. I'm hoping that gives me enough Destiny materials. It's certainly going to give me a lot of soul symbols because I intend to go all in on those profit orbs. I need tons of those. And now that I'm swapping my account around, I want to swap my useless LDA to Alakita. I want to regress some Destiny on some heroes and build up some other ones because I didn't. The next temple upgrade doesn't require 2 Nirvana heroes, and yet I have a Nirvana HHA right now, just for better SSM stats. So whenever we get enough total Destiny stuff on the account, I'll raise the temple level. That'll take us to 13 Divine Power on my Nirvana heroes, which will be quite nice. If I don't have this boss cleared by then, I certainly will after then. And then also it will help during my next Void campaign push, which I intend to start up again at the end of this event, or at the start of Shishi. I tried to say it again and failed, probably. I'm still not sure how it's actually pronounced, but it's a difficult one for me. Probably because I'm a little bit dumb. Or a lot of it, depending on who you ask. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this hilarious video. SSM taking some damage there, which is nice. But if we keep watching them, I believe they'll start to target some people who are not SSM, which is bizarre. But yeah, so interesting stuff here. I think incredibly funny. I'm extremely happy that we were able to get a clear when Antlers and Melodic Strings were unable to do so. This is hilarious. It is very much a fun time for me. This is the bread and butter. This is why I love this game so much. I don't enjoy it so that I can keep on hitting recycled waves, just one chapter above. I enjoy it because they presented us with a unique challenge here, and especially challenging for an SSM account. And coming up with that idea made my day, and I'm riding the high from when I thought of it 26 hours ago. Absolutely glorious time for me. But yeah, I'm not going to show the train in this footage just because I forgot to, but have yourselves a glorious day. I think we go through and look at the leaderboard. Number 8 on iOS right now, which feels kind of good. There's W Wubby. Um, I don't know what else I show. 83 million attack, which is rather huge. Rather huge. This isn't maxed yet. We can upgrade that 2 more times, so that'll probably be like 4 million or so more attack for me whenever I get there. But yeah, so that'll be that for today. I really appreciate you stopping by to watch. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you think it's funny. And if you have an SSM account, I hope you give this strategy a try. Thanks again for watching. Have a good one. Love you.